Hey, it's Diaperperv.
Hey, what's up? It's Livewire, and as you said, I'm with the Vanna White of diaper messing. Like, look at the sign. I want to buy a bowel. Who else has a sign like that? And obviously, size matters. I feel like Drew Carey. The Price is Right. Come on down, diaper perv. You're an next contestant.
Oh, what are the games we're playing? I mean, they're obviously diaper games.
That's right. We're going to talk about diaper messing today.
Mm-hmm.
All kinds of tips and things that maybe we've learned to pass on. It's probably not going to cover everything, single thing in the world because there's tons of topics.
Yeah, there's so many different aspects of messing. And I know a lot of you guys mess because I've done polls. So even if you don't publicly talk about it or state it, a lot of you do it in your private time. So I guess the biggest question is, and I personally don't have a lot of experience with a lot of this stuff because I never really did it professionally, and and I didn't really do a lot of cleanup. So I think that's the biggest hurdle is getting over the cleanup portion of it. And you are a super expert at that.
Yeah, cleanup is really not a big deal if you don't make it a big deal. Obviously, you want to control a little odor, maybe open some windows. A good thing is for some incense.
Oh, okay. So kind of anticipate it beforehand
Right.
and have those things ready. Like, don't be already have your diaper down with a messy bottom and then be like, oh yeah, I have to open some windows and air it out. Do
Right.
it beforehand.
Obviously, I think there's a lot of fine line when it comes to DLs and ABs. I think an AB might be getting changed to where it might be the mommy's responsibility. Maybe there's a lot of untaping and cleaning with wipes. Not everybody does that. There's no right way and there's no wrong way.
No.
You know, me personally, I take the diaper off, I put it into a plastic bag for disposal, and I'm kind of getting in the shower and I use like a soap. I don't use anything special, and I'm washing down there 3, 4 times. Also, if you're bare downstairs, down south where it matters, hair holds odors. And so if you're bare down there,
Oh.
then there's really nothing for odor to hold on to. But you want to make sure you scrub down there, get clean, use a proper soap, shower a few times, put on cologne, deodorant, practice good hygiene.
Okay. So you don't use wipes beforehand. Like
No.
you just I guess use the diaper to scoop off any bits, like the
Yeah.
clean part of the diaper, and just
Right.
jump right in the shower.
Yes.
Okay, this is after you come.
Right. Look at that clever question she just slid in there.
What?
Perfect. Just easy.
Whoa, was your mic on?
It was on.
Oh, okay. I hope the camera picked it up.
But yes, of course, we all come first. We all know it. You can just admit it and get it on. There's no blushing here. But I don't really use any special methods. I mean, the wipes are great, and they have some with aloe, to protect the skin,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
super important. But I mean, I just use a regular, bay rum soap or ivory or whatever soap I have on hand because I switch it up. But I'm in the shower. It goes down the drain. There's no delicate way to put that, but
Okay.
I just make sure that I'm clean.
So let's talk about the skincare and preventing things beforehand. So if you know you're gonna mess, if you can kind of
Right.
predict it, do you use special creams or lotions?
I used to put on things like Desitin, and Burt's Beeswax has a really good natural type barrier cream
Yes,
is what
I've
they
used that
call
one.
it,
Yeah.
with zinc, because I've only had diaper rash once in my whole entire time.
Wow, that's a really long time.
Thank God, because once was enough. You're not going to want to wear a diaper if you've had it. It itches, it burns, and it stings. And if you're in a humid environment, it makes it all the much worse. So, I mean, it's true. An ounce of prevention prevents a pound of cure. Powder is good, and they have all kinds of different powders. They have scented rose powders, they have vanilla powder, they have aloe powder, and everything like that. It's for a reason.
Okay.
First of all, pea and powder smells great
It
anyway.
does.
And
smells weird without powder. I
right,
think.
and it's good for your skin. And if you know you're going to mess and you know you're susceptible to diaper rash, go ahead and get a good barrier cream.
What about things to eat? I guess to get a nice consistency or the consistency that you want.
Right. I saw something that was really interesting on FetLife, and I don't remember exactly where I saw it, but I want to say it was girls in messy diapers, and this person had wrote, and I don't recall the name, about foods to eat for what you want to desire. And the thing that I remember was yogurt, milk, chocolate, cheese, if you want to kind of constipate yourself, as well as
Really?
a lot of fiber. And that's going to get that big bulgy load that maybe most of us like.
Huh.
But
unless you're lactose intolerant. Like if I have that, it's going to be like runny.
Right.
Or really soft.
Right. But to each their own. Like
Yeah.
there's some people that like just to be as messy as they can be, and that's all well and fine. I can only speak how I like things on me, and that's the kind of constipated thing. But I know my body.
Oh, like a nice solid one.
Right.
Okay.
And cleanup is way easier like that.
Yeah. Oh, for
way
sure.
easier. Yeah, it's a little effort and pushing and all that other stuff, but if you like it, you like it. You know, it's not for everybody. I think a lot of us might do it in secret. Some are a little bit more open with it. But, you know, you just read your resources and think. If you eat fish, that obviously that's going to be an odor like no other.
Or yes.
Anything hot, you're going to feel it later.
Oh yeah.
So you might want to think about that. And anything that's acidic or has an acid level is going to contribute to diaper rash, especially with urine. It can really irritate your skin.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long. You start feeling a sting, it's time to probably change unless you have powder down there or you're experienced and you know what you're going through.
Yeah, that's true. So if you feel it burning, get out of it quickly. Be aware of the things that you eat. If you're not sure, kind of experiment. Like keep a food diary and then look at your messes the next day.
I mean, that is a great idea, a food diary, because you can look at it as your own form of private research and go, I ate this and I got this desire.
Yeah.
And that's what I want. And then you'll know. You educate yourself.
So what things are acidic? I guess hot foods, spicy foods, fruit.
Certain kinds of fruit. You covered anything spicy. I mean, that's kind of like, you know, spaghetti sauce. That's a big one. Like spaghetti sauce is very acidic.
Oh, okay.
Anything with a high content of salt as well.
Oh my goodness. This is like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to look out for. But I mean, there are some people who are going to just eat what they want and produce what they want, and they're good with that. But for those of us who are learning to like this or want to learn it, this is kind of what that video might be for.
Yeah, totally. So what about the smell and containing smell? Is there a way to do that?
I have heard, I don't know this myself, but they have like these chlorophyll tablets. The downside of that is you'll be good for St. Patrick's Day, because it's going to turn your waste green, but it neutralizes the odor.
Ew, you ingest it?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know the proper name. I think it's chlorophyll tablet. I might be wrong. But with odor, it's kind of an activity that comes with a dark side, so to speak. And, you know, have your fan on. Think ahead. You know, windows open, especially if you have roommates or maybe you have somebody that's not into it.
Yeah.
You kind of got to think of them too.
Okay, so maybe burn that incense ahead of time, or candles. Go to Bath and Body Works, get the 3-wick candles. Those things are really strong and literally can cover up anything.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, all good advice.
Oh, and plastic pants too, to contain the smell.
Right.
Yeah, because there are times when, like, Donnie has messed and he has on plastic pants. I can't even tell. Like, we could be like walking around outside and I can't smell anything.
Shout out to Donnie. I'm glad Donnie is also getting teased, and I hope you see this.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Oh yeah, and also another tip for cleanup, like if you're a caregiver or top and you're worried about the cleanup, I have not had to clean up that many people, but I've cleaned up people, I've changed people, and I've also watched a lot of diaper boys clean themselves up. Um, if it's not super mushy, it is going to fall off your skin. Like if you're shaved and I guess oiled up good down there, it's gonna just, all of it's just gonna fall off. So it's not gonna take that much effort on your part.
How about gloves, protective gloves?
Yes, gloves are, I think, really important and a must for me.
And I also think that you dispose of things properly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I saw in the news a long time ago that somebody was disposing of their used diapers alongside a highway.
What?
I don't know if they got caught. They would put them in the same spot every time, like a look what I did, calling card type thing. Yeah.
Right, like to shock people or
Right.
whatever.
Every time that somebody does that, it sets us back in the ABDL community.
Mm-hmm.
We're already a niche fetish in the BDSM world, fetish world, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
We're already like this tiny in our little area.
Yeah.
And
people have so many, I guess, really bad misconceptions about us.
right.
So many, like.
So just be responsible. Put it in a disposable bag, in a garbage bag. Throw it into the dumpster properly. You don't want to leave that out for anybody to see.
Mm-hmm. See your smell or
Right.
any of it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Good point. So let's talk about the fantasy versus the reality of messing. I think a lot of people fantasize about it,
Right.
and they don't actually do it, or if they're worried that when they do it, it's not gonna live up to what they've had in their mind, and they're gonna be grossed out and icked and.
Right. Chances are your fantasy is not going to be that gorgeous diaper model where her diaper is on perfectly and she's pooping just for you. I hope it's like that for you, but it's probably not. There's fantasy and there's reality. You know, sometimes when our fantasies become reality, it's not fantasy anymore because we've lived it. You know, people do that sometimes when they're going to book a diaper professional to take care of them or enact their fantasy, and then when it comes time to showtime, they tend to back out, get nerves, things like that. Same thing in the messing world.
That happens.
You know, you're about to have this fantasy come true, and then sometimes it doesn't meet your expectations, or maybe planning, or you know, it just doesn't happen perfectly.
No, and nothing's ever going to be perfect in real life. You know, I mean, you live in real life, so you kind of know that. So let's talk about some of my fantasies and then the realities. Okay. I fantasized about the perfect diaper sex scenario, right? Like this would happen, and it would be so perfect and hot. And then in reality, he messes, and then he's like, "Okay, is it on my?" my shaft, because you don't want that to get in me. So then you might have to get the wipes and then clean that off first, or even maybe put a condom on it if it does get down there, or be aware of it beforehand and point upwards so it doesn't get on his shaft. And then there's towels and other things, and then we've got to put the pad down, so it's not like as spontaneous as it was in my mind. It wasn't as hot.
Right. There's a lot of preparation.
Yes, there's a lot of preparation that took me and I guess him out of that instantaneous moment.
Right. I can kind of see that because if you get kind of an infection, it's probably worse than anything you could probably imagine.
I have not, thankfully.
Right.
Gotten...
So I can see the safety and the steps that you went through in your preparation.
Yeah.
Maybe it robbed a moment of spontaneous happening and all that stuff and the hotness, but in the long run, you know, you came out ahead, so to speak.
And then it's funny because in my mind, I still fantasize about it being perfect. So I actually love watching guys mess their diapers. Did you just throw up the horns?
I threw up the horns.
And And let's break down what I like about it so much. I like watching them struggle first at like trying not to mess, and I like teasing them about it and the anticipation of will they make it to a bathroom or are they able to hold it versus losing control and messing in their diapers.
That's super hot. It is.
Mhm. Yeah, so
It is.
I like playing with that fantasy
Mhm.
of if they're gonna make it or not, and when they do, I prefer it to be like a loss of control, even if they're pretending. It's way hotter that way.
And then you're the one that gets to rescue them from their situation, their
No.
helpless situation.
What
Well,
kind of rescuing am I doing? Am I
Well,
just like
cleaning
flying
and-
in and scooping them up?
if you want to be Supergirl, but I figured like
No.
you're rescuing, so to speak, like you're changing them after the fact.
No, that is a big negative.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, no, I just like watching them mess and then feeling it, and all of that is so hot
Okay.
that I'll want to facilitate them coming somehow. And then after that, then I don't want to change them. Because
Okay.
that's not part of my fantasy.
Oh.
My fantasy is not the changing part. I don't even think about it. Like, I've only done it with people that I was very intimate with.
Mm-hmm.
But never for like clients.
I kind of get that. I
Yeah.
get that because no matter your most embarrassing situation in life,
Uh-huh.
there is no more vulnerability than laying on a bed in a poop diaper and somebody changing you. Like, I just can't imagine that, and I can understand what that person would be going through
Mm-hmm.
and how you see it and everything like that. I can definitely see that. I understand it.
Right, because you like watching the same thing too, like girls messing their diapers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Wait. All right.
If we're being honest here, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's one thing about these videos. It's the truth. We're not, messing around. No pun intended.
I don't find the cleanup hot. Maybe some other people do, and they like seeing their partner in that space.
I do think that, and I'm just throwing this out there, if you're a married couple, that's a level of intimacy where somebody's validating your
Yes.
interest,
Yeah.
and maybe it's shared, and
Mhm.
maybe the wife or the husband is cleaning up their little or something like that. And I think that's really a cool situation because
It
let's
is.
face it, it does happen in our community,
Yeah.
and that's a level of intimacy that I doubt anything else could replicate.
It
You
is.
know, It's
Yeah.
definitely a level of care.
I agree with that.
And I hope that you're experiencing that.
I hope everybody gets to experience this stuff
But I will
once in their life.
but I will say this,
Oh yeah.
that preparation, we're all on a different body clock. Nobody is messing on command unless they really had to go or something like that.
Yeah, or you know your clock and then you time it.
Right,
for
time
that.
it, and it's very hard to hold it. And a lot of these video places, they're using like things like enemies, which is like a little 2-ounce enema type solution, medicated solution,
Mhm.
and you squeeze it in. I tried it myself, so I know what I was working with, and I didn't last 5 minutes. Like,
Wow.
the urge to mess was the most powerful urge I ever had to mess in life. I was shaking trying to hold it. I could not hold it. And I wanted to test it on myself
Right.
before I even used it on anybody else.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, I didn't last 5 minutes. I was
Wow.
watching my clock. All I could think about was relieving myself.
Yeah.
I couldn't think about anything else. I couldn't even take a sip of water. Is how powerful the urge
Wow.
felt.
And was it a good
Yeah.
movement?
Yeah, it wasn't like, when you get a bagged enema, there's a time and a place for that, but it's going to be very liquidy. There's going to be
Yeah.
a stain on the back of your diaper.
Yeah.
The consistency of the enemies mess that I had was pretty kind of solid. It just made me
Wow.
able to go super quick.
Wow, that's cool that it wasn't just like all water like in a
Right.
regular enema.
Yeah, because it's only like a 2 ounce tube,
Uh-huh.
and they are expensive. But if you go to the website, they have free samples, and they send you out like there's Enemies Plus, which has a local anesthetic in it in case you go big,
Oh,
and
wow.
then there's just the regular Enemies, which also
Uh-huh.
works the same.
Uh-huh.
And I think they sent me out like 20 tubes. I mean, that's a good deal. If you have other people in your
For
household,
free
for
or
free, totally 100% free.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sure you wish you had that when you were a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd have been a big, big difference. I had
Yeah.
bathroom issues when I was little, and I used to have to drink castor oil and prune juice, which is probably not in any of your fantasies because it's not in mine. It's the most hideous stuff on earth. I used to have to drink glasses and glasses
Uh-huh.
daily, and nothing worked.
That's so messed
And I had
up.
to drink big ass spoonfuls of castor oil, which I don't wish on any of you.
Yeah, that's old school, like home medications,
Right.
you
But
know.
they didn't know what was wrong with me. It turned out it was nothing that was wrong with me. It was just my body clock and how I go. And that's all. I was severely constipated because all I drank was milk. So there you go.
Growing up in the, I don't know, I'm not gonna say what decade. Do you have a favorite diaper for messing or no?
um, I think all diapers do kind of the same thing. For me, I kind of prefer white diapers. I just
Uh-huh.
like plain all white diapers. I have the Trust Delete on right now, and
It looks even wetter.
it's
I,
wet.
I can't check you on camera.
It's wet because somebody asked me that in the last couple videos. But
Oh,
you
okay.
know, I just I know ABLs or ABs tend to like the colorful diapers, and they look great. Me, I prefer the medical looking diapers, the white diapers. I just think it has that look. What about you? What do you prefer?
Um, I prefer not all like colored back diapers
Right,
because I want to see the yellowness.
right.
Wait, but I just remembered something.
Mhm.
Do you have any tips for like sleeping in your own mess? Because I know there are people that do that.
Uh, yeah, you would want to make sure that you powder up and maybe use a barrier cream and know your body. If you know you had, say spaghetti with pasta sauce, with spaghetti sauce, it's very
And
acidic.
fish.
Anything acidic, fruit, alcohol, whatever,
Oh,
your byproduct is going to be
alcohol.
very, very acidic, and you could be getting diaper rash in your sleep. So you want to be careful, and if
Mm.
you're going to do that, have at it, enjoy it. But just remember, you might need a barrier cream with zinc in it, or they have stuff as simple as called as butt paste, and it helps your skin. Or put an extra dose of powder in there if you're going to do that kind of activity. There's some of us that are maybe their mommy has sent them to bed and they're AB and they're not getting up till the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they do that. But if you're single and you're a DL or an AB, wherever side of the fence you're looking on, think about your self care.
Okay. So how easy is it to sleep in a messy diaper?
I think it's pretty easy. I mean, there's a lot of erotic thoughts that come in there because you can kind of feel it, and you can kind of like smell and things like that. But it never really bothered me. I always thought it was kind of comfortable and hot in my own personal feelings and all that stuff. And
Uh-huh.
sometimes I found it hard to go to sleep.
Oh,
Just could kind of feel it, pushing against me or whatever. I'm a side sleeper, so you know,
so is it hard to sleep because you're hard or because
because you're excited. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's
Oh,
really, your thoughts are going through your head. I'm
well,
sure I'm not the only one.
they should just probably just come in your diaper before you go to sleep.
Right, but then some of us kind of do that, and then they don't want the diaper anymore because they achieve
Oh,
that.
yeah.
There's a lot
Yeah,
of like,
that's
okay,
true.
I'm done, and they want to change. And
Yeah.
a lot find it hard to fight that feeling.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe locking plastic pants. I don't know. When I was doing sessions, pro sessions, sometimes it would be really hot if And this didn't happen very often, but the messings weren't planned ahead. Like, they didn't talk about it beforehand on their emails. We didn't talk about it before the session. And there would be times when they had to go number two and they would ask to go to the bathroom. And then I would just spontaneously be like, no, you're doing it in your diaper.
That's super hot.
And I kind of like it when it's unplanned like that.
Right, like a surprise.
Yeah.
Life came up.
That's
you
even
handled it.
Yeah, that's kind of even hotter in some ways because they weren't anticipating messing their diaper in front of me. So then the embarrassment and whatever they're feeling as they're doing it is more real.
I think that's really, really hot and incredible because, like you said, it's unplanned. Life is happening, and you're in control of the scene.
Right.
You know, it's your nursery.
Yeah.
And you're kind of deciding what goes on, and I can understand that person's situation.
Right,
you
or
know?
the mental state. Like, they're like, oh no, now I have to like, just go right here while she's staring at me.
And I wonder, like, how anybody else, you know, session mommy or whatever you would want to call it, pro, how they would handle that. Like you said, how you handled it. I wonder how, if anybody else would handle it the same way. I like how you handled it. First of all, I vote for her.
But it wasn't the same every time. It was just, am I in the mood for this right now? Is this going well? Is it going to be hot? The situation is hot, so let's just do it.
Right.
And that's always really fun.
I know. I'm thinking of my own fantasy.
Your own little fantasy.
Yeah. Diapered face, messing, sitting, and Right.
Yeah. It would be a shame if someone, you know, snuck castor oil into your smoothie.
Yeah, right.
An hour and a half ago.
Oh yeah, that's right. Also, we were talking about the yin and yang, so to speak, of diaper wearing. Like, somebody could tell you, you're going to wet that, you're going to mess it, that diaper's not coming off, I'm going to lock it on, or, and I can't pronounce the damn word, being told not to use it. Because it's kind of the same thing flip-flopped.
Yeah,
you know?
And it's a whole different mentality, too, because I prefer the first one of, hey, we have to put you in diapers because of this reason, and that's what you have to do. You have to use all the time. And I never really did the second one, mainly because it didn't pertain to the situation, and I didn't find it as hot for myself, but also because the second one, they would have to like mess it or wet it, and then I would have to further punish them.
React to it.
Yeah, with more punishment, and the diapers aren't the punishment.
I can see that.
Yeah, so usually the scenario, they would want a diaper punishment scenario where they were forced to wear because of something else, like wetting themselves or accidents.
Right.
So yeah, I never really did the second one. Do you think the second one is hot? Of, hey, you better not use your diaper or else.
I think it is, but I think it's a little bit more time consuming. I think if it's something, because you can't really mess on schedule. Yes, you can kind of wet, but, you know, how fast does something go through somebody's system? I mean, you almost have to prepare. So I think you need a little bit more time with the second one, unless you've drinking a gallon of iced tea or something like that before you've arrived.
Oh yeah, and you're already desperate. Yeah,
or
for sure.
If you're a married couple and it's just you're in that situation all the time, and that whole "don't you use it" type thing, you know, is a moot point because you're there. You're eventually going to do it. Your body is eventually going to betray you. That's the thing with diapers. You can hold it as much as you want to, and you can be as defiant as you want to. But eventually, your body is going to betray you. It's going to get uncomfortable. You're going to have to go number two, or you're going to have to pee, because when your kidneys are burning or your bladder's about to burst, you're going to give in and you're going to wet it.
Yeah.
So you're gonna fail. And so that's, both those scenarios are super hot.
Oh, actually, I do the second scenario. Like, I'll say, okay, like I'll play a little game like, okay, we're gonna try potty training,
Hmm.
and when you need to pee, I want you to tell me. And then from that point, we're gonna wait 10 minutes because realistically, I might be driving, and then we have to find a bathroom. So you have to keep your diaper dry for 10 minutes. And then that's always a good cue for them to not keep their diaper dry.
That's
And then they fail. So I do play that game a lot.
that's
Never mind.
that's pretty cool. I'm glad we talked about this. I'd be interested in the comments to hear about, situations that you all have experienced, because there's a million ways and we can't think of every single one.
Mhm.
And it'd be interesting to see, without getting too fappy on it, some different situations that maybe we didn't cover or we didn't think about.